Well, this morning I went to apply for the government benefit, which I am getting, but I don't know for how long because they're asking harder and harder questions, trying to relate my situation to the stupid COVID in the world. And if it's not related to if it's not COVID related, then they could easily cut me off. And I almost see this coming. Um, I'm continuing to look for work, of course, but it's very difficult in these times. And if anybody can say this, I can say this 100%. It's definitely COVID related because I am unemployed. And it's so hard to get a job now because of the situation in the world. But what I'm thinking is that they're just going to cut me off. So I'm kind of not prepared for it. And it wouldn't be great if they did because it would leave me in just such a state that there's no income whatsoever. So, you got to fight the government kind of on this, and I'm not a protester. I'm not like battling in that way. But when it comes to this situation that I'm in, of course, you have to provide for your family. So this is what I mean. They're making it more and more difficult, and they're trying to actually pinpoint why you're unemployed. Now, for myself, I was unemployed before this COVID shit even took hold in the world. And so this is what they might use to cut me off, which wouldn't be great. I'm living on menial government benefit anyway because they don't give you very much at all. But it does sustain this house right now, which is necessary for me to have. But anyway, I'm just going off here, but I'm telling you my situation. It's not great. I enjoy what I do here on my channel, and this is what I do, no matter what, whether I was working or not, I'd still do my shows. This is like what Martin said this morning, racing for the prize. Well, God is building this channel up. He's not tearing it down. And for me to have 40 to 60 views a show is awesome. I consider that awesome anyway, even to have one view, somebody just watching it once, whatever. God is the one that's giving it out. This is what I always say. It's not the messenger, it's the message, and that's what I'm giving out. It's the message, the heralding the evangel and giving out truth. Every show I do. I'm a reader, and that's what this show is all about, is reading and bringing out truth from a concordant standpoint. So that's why I'm reading. Anyway, if any of you want to support me in any way like that, I thank you so much from my heart because, any little contribution helps. And like I said, it's always there. The PayPal link is always there if you want to contribute. All right, let's continue with 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Happy Monday. All right. Prophecy prepared them for further unfoldings and maturity. Languages tended to draw them back to the kingdom proclamation and its attendant signs. Though without any manuscript evidence, it may be that the original reading of nothing is soundless, quote unquote, was none of them is senseless. This seems to be demanded by the context, which insists on sense as well as sound. A, single letter P, which is the equivalent of our R, would change APHONON, soundless, that's the Greek word, to APHRONON, senseless. And our version is founded on facts rather than the judgment of its editor. He could not make this alteration, however much it may appeal to him. The gifts were given for mutual edification, not for entertainment or vain display. The misuse of the gift of languages was a clear indication of childish immaturity of the Corinthians, for they were eager to display the possession of the gift without any regard for the edification of others. A foreign language is a mere babble of sounds to those who do not understand it, and even if it should be interpreted as of what real gain it is to use such a circuitous method, when the same thing could not be told just as well without the need of interpretation. So they needed interpreters back then when they spoke in languages, but that gift was prevalent before Paul brought the message of grace. Such was not the divine intention in giving this gift. On the day of Pentecost, this gift was used in a useful and rational way, for it was the sign of that Jehovah was speaking to his people. Moreover, this sign is not for believers, or even to reach unbelievers, for it is written, neither thus will they be hearkening to me. Isaiah 28:12. Surely it is far better to speak 5 instructive words in a vernacular than any number in an unknown language, even if it is to be the exhibition of a spiritual endowment. The same argument applies when even more forced to use the use of a foreign language which no one understands. In a church ritual, it may be imposing and spectacular, but it fails utterly in edifying the saints. So it's not for today. Paul's high regard for the gift of prophecy is founded on the fact that it was the chief means used to bring the saints to that maturity which he earnestly desired they should attain. The gift of teaching, the exposition of scriptures, now takes the place of prophecy. For God has fully revealed his will in his word. Predicting and foretelling is not necessarily involved in the gift of prophecy. The prophet in Scripture is the mouthpiece or spokesman of God. He may speak of the past, the present, or the future. Prediction is incidental, not essential to prophecy. Before the canon was complete, it was needful for the saints to have some means of knowing the mind of God. The Scriptures fully meet that need now. What a decided contrast there would be between a meeting at which all declared God's mind in sober succession, so that all are helped, and one in which each seeks an opportunity to display a gift, which is of no benefit to his fellow saints. Even unbelievers have discrimination enough to see how foolish it is to talk into the air, and can appreciate the solemn declaration of God's spokesman. All right, we're going to continue tomorrow with chapter 14 in the Concordant Commentary. Verse 27. See, I like breaking this down. Small portions is good. So as you can see, prophecy, languages, all that's discarded with right now. We don't need it. God fulfills his word complete and full now. So we go as teachers rather than prophets to give out the evangel. So as you can see, I read on my shows and I'm breaking it down. So that's what's important. To get that understanding, knowing that those childish gifts are done away with. But the mature gifts are the teaching, are the evangelists and teachers. Those are the ones that are giving it out now. So with that, I say grace and peace and have a beautiful Monday. We will see you tomorrow.